Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another tutorial on Jurassic World Evolution 3. Today I'm giving you a guide onto how to make beautiful waterfalls for your parks in this video game. Now if you have seen the content over the last couple of days, you would see that I have made tons and tons of waterfalls. It's safe to say that I really adore waterfalls in this game. It's a feature that I've wanted for such a long while, so of course I'm going to take advantage of it. So I've gone ahead and loaded up into my own, brand new map I guess, and this actually looks like one of the bigger ones that I've been able to create, and this is via the new island generator, because the island generator gives us the most natural feel to these waterfalls. But of course, if I did want something to just showcase and just to show you how to build it, then we can head on over to the square maps as well. But for now, we're going to go ahead and use the island generator to showcase these waterfalls. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do is not actually go over here, and you're not going to want to go to the water. You want to head over to your settings. Once you head over to settings, you stay on the gameplay tab, and then you head on down to terrain contour lines. I cannot explain to you how important these are to building waterfalls in this game. So for me personally, I've got them both turned on, but the only thing that you really need turned on for waterfalls specifically would be the terrain whilst editing. Usually I think by default they are set to off, but turn them on if they are off. What this essentially does is that if you go ahead and you want to go and change the terrain, when you go to a terrain area, you can now see the contour lines are built within, rather than when they're off, you can't see them at all. So without them, you're kind of just eyeballing it all. But this gives you a rough guide as to how the terrain changes over levels. And this is very important for waterfalls because waterfalls require different levels. So firstly, what you want to go ahead and do to make a very simple waterfall is grab your shallow water or deep water, doesn't really matter. And you can just go to this section right here and you just want to build some water. Then after you've gone ahead and made your top level of water, you want to go to a lower level and then grab your water tool again and just make more water. But of course, you must be wondering, how do I connect the waterfalls? Very simple, you go near the water here and you just push to the edge before it starts to register a waterfall in. And then you can just make a beautiful waterfall, as simple and natural as that. But of course there are multiple other ways to make waterfalls as well. And it can get a little bit finicky. As you can see, it's jumping around quite a lot. So sometimes it is very difficult. But you can also do it on the reverse, so if you want to go to the top and then push to the lower level, it's the same thing. So you can go ahead and create some waterfalls like that. But again, it can be a little bit finicky, it may take you a few tries, but don't worry, this little button right here helps you out so much. If you ever want to undo a waterfall because you don't want it in that specific area, you just have to go back a few times, just click it, and there you go. But I got rid of one, I want to go forward. So I want this one, there you go. So these two tools are also very helpful when building waterfalls, because sometimes the waterfall that you really want is only really there for a split second. For example, I don't want that angle. Let's go back a little bit, keep clicking. Don't know why it's not working, there we go. So I got that angle instead, or I got the angles to pick from. I guess actually it's glitching out there. So it's not the great showcase, but you know what I'm trying to say. So that's how you build a very simple waterfall. Now you do have to be wary about all of this because you can't build waterfalls on certain heights. So for example, I think this should be tall enough. If we were to go ahead and make loads of water here, and then we try to make a lower section and then push it towards the higher height, it's not going to create a waterfall. It's just too high. So do keep in mind that you are going to have to stagnate it. So what do I mean by stagnate it? Well, if we undo everything right here by pressing Ctrl Z, come on, I got this. There we go. So you're going to have to use the contour lines here, and you pick the level that you want. Let's say here. Here's a good level. So we create some water, and now the waterfall is coming down. So let's create a little bit more space. We'll go here, we'll create maybe halfway down a level here, and then we've got more waterfalls. And then I think that should be high enough now. There you go. So just like that, you have stagnated waterfalls. That's how you get it from a really high height to a lower height. Unfortunately, you can't really build really tall waterfalls. As much as I would love to have water up here and then water down here and have the waterfall come crashing down, as much as I would really love to do that, it's just not implemented in the game at this point in time. But these are essentially the main waterfalls that you're going to want to build in your parks. And then if you want to decorate it, just make it a little bit more pretty. There are actually some decorational tools. I can't remember which one it is. Maybe it's this one. No, I think it's actually in the foliage section. I believe it's actually this one instead. Yeah, there you go. So you can actually build some rocks onto the edge, but this only works when you're on a higher terrain. Otherwise, it will just put... Oh no, it does put rocks. Okay, maybe I got that wrong. But yes, you can just decorate it with rocks and they'll naturally form on the edge of cliffs as well. So just like that, you have a nice and decorated waterfall. But there are a few other things that you can do with this waterfall feature that some people may have actually missed. So if you've been eagle-eyed in my playthroughs and my early access gameplay when we headed over to Frontiers HQ, where we got to play the game a little bit early and built a Suchomimus exhibit, you can see that I discovered something that I wasn't expecting to discover. So this is why I say terrain lines are very important. Let's head on over here and we'll grab maybe this level. We'll bring this level out a little bit and then we'll just lay it off here as well. So this right here, it's not too high, is it? So we'll go ahead and build some water on this level, just like so. And then literally just one contour line down, which is here, we can build water and essentially build a nice little set of rapids. Just like that. So it has flowing water. It's not exactly a waterfall, but it works in the same mechanism. It's just, let's say, a rapid. So let's say if I just wanted to build something really nice, let's take this terrain level and we'll just build like a river. There we go, connecting it to that one. And then I want a lower level here. We can create that. And then I want a lower level here as well. We can just create nice little streams like so. It's literally as simple as that. Just to make a really nice river and to have it flow a little bit more. Now, I was sat next to the Gaming Beaver when I accidentally did this and I showed it to him and he was like, oh, you can build a really nice set of river rapids right there. And then that gave me the idea to go ahead and do something very similar just by doing this and then possibly grabbing some scenery items such as rocks. We head over to the rock tab, we'll get the smallest one because the rocks are typically quite large. And then we can just put like little pebbles just scattered around. Just like that. And then we'll switch it up a little bit. Probably bring this one down into the ground a little bit more. Like that. And just make it look a little bit nicer. And then essentially you have like a little rock pool going on. Because you don't have to have it so large. You can actually go to the water radius. And you can just do one splodge of water here, one splodge of water here. Obviously they need to connect to some degree. And you can literally just do something as small as that. And yet it still looks so nice. So this is the very basics of creating and using the waterfall mechanic in Jurassic World Evolution 3. Now, people are going to learn this a lot better than what I've showcased. There are some more advanced techniques. If you do want another episode regarding the advanced techniques, head on over to the comments and just let me know in the comments, because there are certainly some very special type of waterfalls that you can make, which I might show you at the end of this video. But overall, that's pretty much the basics of using the waterfall mechanic. Make sure your contour lines are turned on. You can't make waterfalls too high, but you can also stagnate them just like this to make them look even nicer. But also, you can go ahead and just use the very smaller terrain levels and just create a very natural flowing river, let's say. Even smaller waterfalls like this work very well. And as I said, you can connect to deep water with shallow water as well. So if I literally just want to change this one, it's as simple as that. Very simple. I can just change it into deep water and it will still connect a new waterfall. So shallow to deep, deep to shallow, doesn't matter. As long as it's water to water, it's completely fine. Now here, unfortunately it doesn't work. It's too deep. There may be somewhere on this map where it's a little closer to the water. That might help out. No, it doesn't look like it. But when I was showcasing all of the maps in Jurassic World Evolution 3 in that video, I believe in China, there's one space where you can actually connect the outside water to your inside water. So do keep an eye out if you are playing the campaign or if you're doing sandbox on other maps or something. You can go ahead and actually do that. You can connect the outside water to your inside water and essentially just create a nice looking waterfall. So keep that in mind because it's a really cool feature and mechanic. So yeah, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you guys do want a more advanced tutorial on how to use very cool waterfalls in your parks, because I believe I've made quite some nice ones, nice looking ones, then head on over to the comments and let me know. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and make sure that you are subscribed if you haven't already done so, as we post your daily dose of Jurassic content here on YouTube. If you have yet to purchase Jurassic World Evolution 3, specifically on PC, then head on over to the description where you can find my link to purchase the game directly, and essentially when you do that, is at no extra cost to you, but you do help me out just that little bit more. It essentially works in the same way that a creator code works. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, stay safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.